2009 to 2016, the Dodge Ram came with these reflector headlights. And in this video, we're going to show you how to remove the original incandescent orange front turn signals from those headlights and upgrade them to new, either switchback white and amber or all amber LED light bulbs from GTR Lighting. Now, if your truck has the projector headlights like this that was started in 2013, stop watching this video. Your front turn signals are already LED and nothing in this video is for your truck. The original incandescent light bulb has two filaments and it's encased in amber colored glass. This is called the 3157NA. We're going to take that light bulb out and replace it with one of two options from GTR Lighting. The switchback 3157 has a row of white LEDs on each section and two rows of amber LEDs and LEDs behind a projector lens for better light output. As you can see, the bases are almost identical. Simply remove your original 3157NA incandescent light bulb and plug in the new LED bulb. The new LED bulb on parking light and DRL function is actually going to glow white. It's going to give you a bright, crisp, white LED daytime running light type effect on a vehicle that didn't come with one from the factory. Then, when you turn on the turn signals or the blinkers, it'll change from white and flash amber. The other option, if you want something a little bit more traditional, is the all amber LED bulb from GTR Lighting. As you can see, again, it has the exact same base as the original light bulb. You take the original light bulb out, plug the new one in, and turn it on. Now, taking out the original light bulb and putting in the new one is only step one. Inside this original light bulb is a wire wound filament, and the truck's actually expecting to see the properties of that filament reported back to a computer in the truck that tells it that the light bulb is working. So, in order to put an LED bulb in place, which is just a circuit board, we have to trick the computer and mimic the filament inside the original light bulb. The way we're going to do that is with load equalizing resistors. The LED bulbs come from GTR Lighting, and so do the resistors. Inside, you have an instruction sheet, two resistors, and some screws. The instruction sheet tells you how to do the install, but I'm going to show you so there's no guessing on this particular vehicle. Now, read here, it says, caution, this product gets hot, up to 240 degrees Fahrenheit. That is hot enough to melt plastic or wiring. So seriously, follow the instructions and do it the way that we do it in this video so you don't risk melting anything under the hood. Okay guys, I'm going to show you how to take this 2015 Ram 1500 apart so we can get to that turn signal bulb and get that replaced. The first step is taking this cover off, and it's held down by a bunch of push pins. And what you want to do to get this off, I'll show you a trick. If you just go at these with a pry tool like this, they're too flimsy for that. You'll deform them and ruin them. So what's easier to do is get underneath the cover itself and pry against that. Now you can find a pry tool like this at just about any parts store. They're less than $10. They work great for this truck. And on each of these you can get behind that cover and it comes right up. The best part about that also is it keeps these pins trapped there, so you don't have to take them all out, risk losing them or putting them in the wrong spots, because it does matter. If prying them doesn't get them up, just give it a little twist action and it'll usually go. You don't want to pry against the paint here on the bumper or on the grill either. So that twist action gets them up. One by the radiator here. And one more on the fender. There we go. A lot of the time I'll just take this and set it right back here. As long as you don't start the truck, it won't make a difference. Next, we've got 4 10mm bolts. The outside ones have a different thread than the inside ones. The outside ones thread into plastic. So you can see here it's an aggressive thread. And the inside ones thread into the core support, and that's a fine thread. You don't want to mix those up. As always, you can do all this with hand tools. We're doing power tools for the sake of the video. Now this is one tricky part of the job.
This grill is now held in just by push pins, well, press clips on the sides and along the bottom. And the way to get that off is just to take one hand up here, one hand in the honeycomb, and just give it a little pull. There we go. Now I've done probably over 100 of these, and so I know not to let this grill drag on the bumper. But if this is your first time doing it, it takes 2 seconds to just throw some tape down here, and it'll prevent any scratches from happening. Now we've got two 10mm bolts holding this headlight in. The top one's easy to get to, it's right there. The bottom one is pretty easy to get to with a ratchet. I'm going to use a swivel and an extension, but you can get a ratchet in there. It's just facing downwards, so. All right. Now the only thing holding this in at this point is a lever behind a trap door in the wheel well. And to get that trap door open, you've got one of these little pins holding it down. And the trick with these pins is just to get your pry tool under them, twist it a little bit, it pops it up, and then it releases. So this lever, you need to pull it, actually you need to push it up to get the headlight out. And you reach your hand in this trap door, and it's really tough to show you on camera, but I promise it's there. And as you reach your hand in, it's very, very much to the left of that gap. That releases the back of the headlight, and now it is free to be pulled free from the vehicle. There is a little pressure fit connection back there that you can just pull the headlight. You'll feel a little bit of resistance. There we go. Takes a little bit of work to get it, but it does go. Now you've got just your turn signal right here. You can twist that to remove it. Your headlight connection right here. This has a security clip on it, and so what you got to do, that's kind of a tough one. Just wiggle it side to side and then press down on the center. There it is. Now when it comes to installing your turn signal bulb itself, whichever one you choose to do, when it comes to LED lights, they can only go in the connection one way. So what you're gonna have to do is plug the bulb in, go into the vehicle, turn the key on, turn your turn signal on, and make sure that the bulb's operating. If it's not, just take it out and flip it around. So you wanna make sure to test that before you get it all back together. Now when it comes to installing our resistor, it's pretty straightforward on these trucks. You've got these two wires here, or three wires here. You've got ground, turn, and then parking light. And what we're gonna do is bear this harness back here a ways, because when this is all said and done, we're gonna want that resistor mounted right here. That'll be nice and out of the way. The headlight will still fit, and it'll be connected to metal so it won't get too hot. Okay, so we've got our resistor here, and they come with these T-tap connectors here. And you can use these, however today I'm going to show you how to solder just directly to the wires. It's for the best connection possible, most future-proof connection possible. You don't want to have problems with this down the road, so this is a good way to avoid that. The wires you need to connect to for your turn signal is white, green, and your ground is black. This white with brown is your parking or running light. So we're gonna just leave that one alone. We don't need to do anything with that one. So what we're gonna do is just strip these back. And like I said, I'm just showing you how to solder them because that's the way we do it here for the most future-proof connection. If you decide that you want to use the included T-taps, totally fine. A lot of people do. Now, solder will generally just roll off of surfaces like this bumper, but we don't want to be dripping solder on it, so I'm just going to pull these wires back here. Get that nice and connected there. Perfect. That's not going to give us any issues in the future. Now we'll go ahead and get it taped up. And the reason I did it so far back in the harness is this resistor does have to mount to metal. And with all this slack that I've given myself, I'll still be able to take the headlight off and get it disconnected without stressing any wires or inconveniencing myself in the future. I would really recommend doing that. There's nothing worse than being able to pull a headlight out about 2 inches to try to work on it. All right, now we're just going to grab our drill. The resistor kit comes with screws. They're the perfect length, perfect self-drilling screw style. So as long as you have a drill, I suppose you could do it with a screwdriver, but it wouldn't be the most fun you've ever had. We're going to just take this resistor here and mount it just on this little frame rail here. So once again, it's really important to get these things on metal. They get toasty. Keep it away from any kind of wiring, any kind of plastic. These bumpers are plastic. You don't want it to be mounted there. One screw is sufficient. It'll hold it just fine. As you can see, it's not going anywhere. And that's all there is to that. So let's get a bulb in there and see if we can get it right on the first try as far as orientation goes. We're going to be putting the switch back in there just for the video's sake. Okay. Now, like I said before, with these bulbs being LED, it does matter which direction you put them in. If you put them in wrong, it won't really be a huge deal, it just won't work. So we're going to install this one here. I've already turned the parking lights on in the vehicle to kind of give me a hint as to when I've got it right. There we go. So this is with parking lights on, no turn signal. Now when I turn the turn signal on, that bulb should flash amber. There it is. So as you can see, we don't have any fast blink or anything like that, all thanks to the resistor. And with it tied in back here, we've got all the slack in the world to pull that headlight out still. And that's what we're looking for. We don't want to hurt ourselves in the future trying to get this headlight unplugged and dealing with only an inch or two of slack. So now that we know that this bulb is in there properly and it works and our resistor is obviously doing its job, the last step to do here is just put this back in the housing, twist it until it lines up. You'll feel it lock into place, and there it is.
Now that you know how to replace the original incandescent light bulb with an LED bulb from GTR Lighting, whether you're doing the white and amber switchback bulb or the all amber LED bulb, if you have any questions about how to do this on your own, contact us. You can find us online at www.headlightrevolution.com. Click the link in the description below the video for more pictures, pricing, and other info on this kit. And you can find us on Google+ and Facebook.